What are anxiety, worry, and stress? Are they different? If you don't control them, then they control you. Have a look at 10 tips we are going to share with you to take control. Welcome to Live Without Anxiety, the channel where you will find the best anxiety hacks to overcome anything in your life. In this video, we will tell you what anxiety, worry, and stress are. Make sure you stay with us till the end because we will not only help you identify the differences between the three, but also discuss their causes, effects, and manifestations. Each of these varies and needs different approaches and solutions. By the end, you will be able to identify what you face in your daily life and how to combat it with the tips that I will give you. You will be surprised to notice the differences. Stay until the end of the video as we have a bonus tip waiting for you at the end that can help you to inculcate an effective mental health habit to make your life easier. Everyone in life experiences worry, stress, and anxiety sometimes. They differ from one another and are general reactions experienced in life. If these situations aren't managed well, then they can take control of your mind and body. But when do you experience any of these? Can you really tell which one you are facing? Is it worry, stress, or anxiety? Is there a way you can control and combat each of these? Well, let's dig deeper to answer these questions. Worry is when your mind engages in unpleasant, irrational thoughts and apprehensions towards daily life, work, relations, future, etc. The uncertainty of outcomes and obsessive negative thoughts cause disturbances in the peace of mind. Worry always takes place in the mind and is thus called the cognitive component of anxiety. Constant worrying can distract one's focus and also create fear, lack of confidence, hopelessness, and so forth. Thus, it is essential to have control over your worrying. Here are 3 tips to control excessive worrying. Number 3. Identify, don't ignore. It is very important to identify and accept the situation that has led you to worry. Only when you identify and accept your worrisome thoughts and its reasons, you can find a way to control it. Do not neglect these thoughts. Number 2. Schedule a worry time. Set a time to spend worrying about your daily challenges. Fix a 20 minutes daily, and during this time, freely think about all the worries. When the time is up, try to stop all the negative thoughts and divert your brain from any more worrying. Make the rest of the day a worry-free zone. Do not fix the worry time close to your bedtime. And tip number 1, steps of action. When you are clear about the reasons that lead you to worry, adopt a problem-solving attitude and find solutions to deal with it. Push yourself to derive ways to overcome worry. Now, let us move on to discussing stress. What is stress? Stress is a rather biological response to anxiety. Unlike worry, which takes place in the mind, stress is a physiological effect. Stress is the body's reaction to an unpleasing environmental stressor like work deadlines, interviews, exams, medical appointments, etc. Stress fires up the limbic system that in turn activates the body to handle the threat. The increased alertness in the body leads to symptoms like increased palpitations, shortness of breath, sweating, thirst, etc. The body is prepared to fight the unpleasing or threatening situation. But when the stress and its physical reactions prolong, it becomes difficult to manage it. Chronic stress can even lead to health issues. And now, let us look at 3 tips for stress management. Tip number 3, realize and accept. Notice the changes you feel in stressful situations. Realize the situations and work towards dealing with it. You can or cannot control certain situations. Accept then there are situations that you cannot always control, and hence experiencing stress is normal. Tip number 2, eat and exercise well. Stress can have negative effects on the body, thus you should maintain your health. Eating a well-balanced diet helps enrich the body's immunity to withstand various ailments. Exercising and yoga assist in regulating proper hormonal releases and relaxes the tension built due to stress. And tip number 1, engage in relaxing activities. To keep away stress, you can participate in activities that relax you and keep the stress away. Practice meditation, listen to calming music, get some fresh air, engage in your hobbies, etc. These have a calming effect on the mind as well as the body. And now, it's time for the comparatively bigger element, anxiety. What is anxiety? Worry and stress are symptoms of anxiety. we discussed that worry occurs in the mind, whereas stress manifests in the body. Therefore, anxiety is experienced in the mind as well as the body. Anxiety is a vague, unpleasant, and irrational intensity of fear, which can lead to both mental and physical symptoms as well. Anxiety can take place because of varied reasons, like life and work routines, relationships, financial matters, unsettling incidents, underlying conscience, etc. It can severely manifest in different types of disorders. It can be exhausting as well as exasperating and thus needs to be controlled. Here are 4 tips to control your anxiety. Tip number 4. Divert your senses. As anxiety manifests in both mind and the body, thus only preventing thoughts of it isn't helpful. What you can do to divert yourself is to engage in activities that refocus your senses onto something else, like listening to music or reading, taking a walk, jumping a rope, chewing a gum, etc. Tip number 3. Stay active. As we mentioned earlier that exercise is a good way to treat stress, similarly, keeping your body active by exercising or doing yoga can help in anxiety control, relaxation, enhancing health, and also keeps the mind off worrying or stressors as it diverts energy to the physical and active parts of the body. Tip number 2. Avoid stimulants. Caffeine, alcohol, drugs, and sugars are stimulants that can increase the sensitivity of the body. Intake of such stimulating substances can increase the mental and physical impacts of anxiety, which can be dangerous. And tip number 1, approach medical help. As anxiety is more serious and chronic, it is often treated clinically. Therapy using various techniques and medicinal help can be extended to anxious individuals to target and treat anxiety. Now, you have a basic overview of this. As you have stayed with us until now, here's your bonus tip. You can inculcate this habit in your everyday life to manage your mental health. Bonus: journaling is a great way to relieve yourself of burdens that tend to accumulate in your daily life. You can dedicate some time and diary, especially for writing down your worries, stressors, and the anxiety you face. Writing your thoughts and worries is a healthy way to channelize the negative energy out of your mind and body. So now you know what worry, stress, and anxiety are and how they differ in their manifestations. Worry is related to the mind, stress, on the other hand, is physiological, and anxiety is mental as well as physical and consists of both worry and stress. Apply the mentioned calming and controlling techniques. For worrying, identifying it instead of ignoring it, scheduling a worry time, taking steps of action to resolve the worry. For stress, realize and accept uncontrollable situations, eating and exercising properly, practicing relaxing activities. And for anxiety, diverting your senses, staying active, avoiding stimulants, and approaching therapeutic and medical help. Also, don't forget to keep a diary or journal to release all the worry before the day ends. Did you relate to any of these conditions that we discussed? Which of these tips will you be using? Let me know in the comments below. To stick around for more such hacks and tips, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you found this video helpful and interesting, I'm sure you would love to know about anxiety and stress, 5 delicious drinks you can have at home to combat anxiety and stress. Make sure to check it out. And remember, you can live without anxiety.